Okay, it's been like 6 or 7 months since I've done a video, and I'm going to bring you up to speed with what's been going on lately. But please stay subscribed. This channel is still active. I'm going to be doing a bunch of different classic films because I haven't seen too many films this year. I have seen a couple, but it's kind of too late to do the reviews. But maybe I will do them anyways. But okay, I've just been really busy and a lot of stuff been going on since I did my last video, which was, what was it? Triple X Return of Xander Cage. Good God, that was horrible. But moving on, the movie I'm doing today is Braveheart. What will you do without freedom? They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Search your feelings, you know it to be true. No! No!
You got nothing on me. You know it, I know it. I'm changing dollar bills, that's all.
Well, I'm not going home.
We've got too far!
A day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
You chose the wrong side.
I want your future!
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say...
Yeah, the problem with having all that money is sooner or later you're going to have to explain where it came from.
We can break this army here.
At a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions. This is your time.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Seize the day.
That's the Chicago way.
Man in a suit of armor. Take that away. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, philanthropist.
No, my name is the Lord. When I tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence Day.
Braveheart is directed and starring Mel Gibson, who plays William Wallace, a Scottish warrior. What will you do without freedom? They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom! Becomes involved in the first Scottish independence in the 13th century England, and he becomes involved against a struggle against the hostile and brutal King Edward I, Longshank. What happens in this movie, it's kind of like it's a very long film, so you get to see the struggle for independence, the struggle because the British rule around that time was just vicious, and it was unforgiving, and they get their wives are killed, their wives are raped, and they do just a bunch of horrible things to the Scottish, and they decide to rise up against Longshank, and so takes place is this really good battle. Probably one of the best I've ever seen in film. Period. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. And so okay, now I'm gonna go to the positives of this movie, because there's a whole lot of positives of this movie. There's not a whole lot of negatives. I really don't see any negatives, but I'll try to find one. I'm not sure. This movie has been nominated for several Academy Awards, including Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Film, Best Actor. So this was a very auspicious debut for Mel Gibson to start off with, and he started off with a bang, I'll tell you that much. And okay, and his supporting cast, I want to just kind of mention everybody in this movie is just phenomenal. It's kind of like one of those high school or college plays, but only better. Okay, this movie is just staggering. Just the scale of this movie is humongous, and and a lot of the scenes, the battle scenes, don't look. It doesn't really look like it looks right now. And given it's not, we're in 2017, and this movie was filmed in 1995, so it's very gory, it's very bloody, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this movie. It can be very, unforgiving at times, but at the same time, it gives you its vulnerability of a people enslaved, a people that have been just had a horrible life. So William Wallace decides to rise up, and he gets a bunch of his countrymen to stop the Edward the First Longshank. Okay, and I want to mention some of the actors that I really like. Brendan Gleeson, who plays Hamish, he's known for a lot of really great films. And anytime I've seen this guy do a movie, most of the time he really brings a lot to the table. He brings a lot of power, a lot of sincerity to his roles. So this is no different. So this is like the first time I'd ever seen this guy, and he's done a lot of great films since then, and he's really good. And I just want to mention the King Edward Longshank the First, who is played by Patrick McGowan, or I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly. He plays this despicable character. Given this is historical, this is a historical film. This is inspired by a novel or a poem, and inspired by the legend of William Wallace. But this guy, he just plays a despicable guy because he has a son who's a homosexual, and he marries a beautiful French princess, and what's her name? Let's see her name. Sophie, played by Sophie Marou. Princess Isabella of France. So he decides, and he finds out that his son is having a homosexual relationship with one of his, I don't know exactly his sport, because he's the prince, right? So he decides to kill him, and just a lot of things that the King Edward the First Longshank, this guy does is just, this guy's the quintessential movie villain, only he's portraying something that, he's portraying reality though, he's not portraying fiction or anything like that. So he just makes you want to reach out and, oh man, choke him to death. He's horrible. And Catherine McCormack, who plays Moran, I gave up trying to pronounce her name, but she plays a very haunting role. She plays the girl that marries Wallace, and she's murdered, and her throat is cut. And she gives a very haunting performance on this movie because after that, she kind of continues to visit William Wallace in his dreams and his visions, and she's kind of like his conscience. She becomes his conscience because she's brutally murdered by the British army. The wild-eyed guy in this movie, his name is Stephen of Ireland. He's playing Stephen of Ireland. David O'Hara, this guy gives probably one of the most standout performances on this movie. He plays a wild-eyed guy. He's really crazy. He's, you wouldn't tell because the guy's probably like 5'7", and he's just a beast in these battle scenes. Mel Gibson gives probably the performance of his freaking career on this movie. Braveheart, I want to give Braveheart an A+ because I have a new rating system that I'm going to be starting really soon, but I'm going to give this movie a happy face because it is awesome. It's probably one of the best movies of its generation, and I think a lot of movies from now could probably should write down and take some notes. They should really take some notes, man, from this movie because they just really don't make them like this anymore, and they really try. And I've seen some really good movies. It's just Braveheart, as a whole, is not just a movie about action. It's a movie about the Scottish fighting for their independence, fighting for their freedom, fighting for everything, even their lives, their very lives. Because their wives get slaughtered and raped on this movie. So I think I'd be a little bit bitter too. So okay, if you like this video, please like this video. Please subscribe to Louis Valens Cinema's review. I am still on the radar, and I am still your reviewer, and I am still around. It's hard to believe it, okay?
How about a magic trick? I
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs.
She's a bitch!
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly, think.
We found the bulk of the dirty cash.
Time to move in.
The price is wrong.
You got knocked up.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
This is Sparta!
He slimed me.
Who? The her.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
I'll be back.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.